If you've ever done a work potluck, you know how much of a pain in the ass they can be to organize. First off, everyone wants to bring dessert. They all want to show off their famous grandma's recipe of whatever. And for some reason, no one wants to bring an entree. So you end up with some meat if you're lucky, and a table full of cupcakes, pies, cookies, and other sweets. This is how I learned to overcome that and organize a successful potluck. So here's what you do. It's called a taco party. Basically, you make a list of everything that will be needed, such as taco shells, ground beef, veggies, shredded cheese, and so on. Then you pass around the list and people put their names next to the things that they're willing to bring. The benefits are it reduces the cost for everyone involved and boosts participation. More people are willing to contribute if they only have to bring a single cheap item rather than an entire cooked dish. Then, on the day of the event, you set out the ingredients and everyone makes their own tacos. This also has the added benefit of being customizable. Some folks don't eat meat or can't have cheese, but if they're making their own taco, they just don't put any in. Now, I was working at this place and had gained a reputation for being able to put together decent potlucks. At one point, I was moving from one team to another, and the coach of my new team had heard about my mad skills. He asked me if I could do one for his team. Obviously, I was reluctant to oblige. I'm a very lazy person who doesn't like taking on additional responsibilities. But I wanted to make a good first impression, so I said I'd do it. With two conditions. One, they buy me a tiara, and two, my official title would be Party Princess. They agreed, so I got started and created a list and passed it around amongst the team. Everything is going smoothly until this one lady asks if she can bring pico de gallo. I had no idea what that was, so I told her, sorry, it's not on the list. She's undeterred and proceeds to explain why hers is the best. And as she's describing what it is, I say, well, that pretty much just sounds like a salad. Salad's on the list. I'll put you down for bringing a salad. Now, keep in mind these discussions were all done by email. I've stated previously that I don't Spanish. I remember walking up to my new boss and telling them about the exchange, and they tell me, do you mean pico de gallo? And I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of that. Fast forward a few days, and it's the eve of the potluck. I had been put down as bringing chopped onions. I'm no culinary master, so I assumed you could just buy them pre-chopped at the store. I was wrong. I ended up buying a whole ass onion and taking it, thinking, what am I supposed to do with this? I get it home and to my dismay realize we have no good knives or a cutting board. So I grab a plate and I think I could chop this thing with a butter knife, but that seems dangerous. Then I remembered I had bought a machete a while back and never used it. So I take that to the kitchen. And before I begin, I recall that chopping onions is supposed to make you cry. Well, I ain't about to go out like a little bitch. I march back into my room and grab my gas mask. Aha, perfect. Let's do this. I cut the onion in half, halved those into quarters, and then cut those in half, and called it good. Now picture this. My roommate comes out of his room, probably because he heard me making a racket. He sees me in my underwear and a gas mask holding a giant machete. He stares at me for a moment and then just slowly backs away and closes his door. We're not done yet. So now it's the day of the potluck. Everyone is having a great time. They're all patting me on the back, telling me how great I am. Yeah, I know, I'm awesome. I told some of my coworkers about the previous night with my roommate, and we all had a good laugh. When someone pulls a piece of onion skin out of their mouth, and they're like, "Wait, you didn't even peel it?" We look, and the piece he had just removed still had the sticker. I was like, "I didn't know you had to peel them. It's an onion. Isn't it all made of layers? Like, how do you know when to stop?" After that, I was only ever allowed to bring soda. And that wraps up my story for today. I hope you had as much fun hearing it as I did making it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Be safe, and don't do anything I would do.